Echoes of the Morgue. The morgue was always a chilling place, both in temperature and atmosphere. I had grown accustomed to the eerie silence broken only by the occasional buzz of the fluorescent lights. For 10 years, I had worked the night shift here, surrounded by the dead and their secrets. One particularly cold night, as I made my rounds, I heard her voice echoing through the sterile halls. "Can you get me a blanket, please? It's really cold here," she pleaded, her voice seeming to emanate from one of the examination rooms. I froze, a chill running down my spine. It was impossible. I was alone in the morgue, as always. But her voice sounded so real, so desperate. Pushing aside my unease, I approached the room from which her voice seemed to originate. Through the small window on the door, I could see her silhouette lying on the stainless steel table, covered by a white sheet. She appeared to be shivering, as if truly cold. Ignoring the rising sense of dread, I entered the room, my footsteps echoing loudly in the stillness. "I'm sorry, ma'am," I said, trying to sound composed. "There must be some mistake. You're not supposed to be here." But she didn't respond, only continued to shiver beneath the sheet. With a shaky hand, I reached for the blanket stored in a nearby cabinet. As I approached the table, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The air seemed to grow colder, heavier, as if laden with a malevolent presence. As I reached out to place the blanket over her, she suddenly sat up, her eyes snapping open to reveal empty sockets. Her mouth stretched into a grotesque grin, devoid of lips or flesh. I stumbled backward, horror coursing through me. This wasn't possible. She was dead. But here she was, staring at me with sightless eyes, a silent scream frozen on her decayed lips. With a surge of terror, I turned and fled the room, the echo of her voice following me down the corridor. "It's really cold here," she whispered, her words a chilling reminder of the horrors that lurked within the morgue's walls. From that night on, I knew better than to ignore the pleas of the dead, for in the darkness of the morgue, even the cold could not silence their restless spirits.